as far as everything else goes, turned out pretty good. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be pulling the bed off my 2012 DURAMAX. The reason I'm doing this is because my frame's got some rust on it and it's fall time right now, so I kind of want to get it fixed before this winter. And the best way to do it is pull the bed off. It's not terrible, but if I keep letting it go, it's gonna get bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all the bolts out of the bed. I think there's 4 on each side. Then unhook my wiring harness to the tail lights. Pull the tailgate off. Then I might have to, I got a gooseneck back here. And I think the little tie down, the safety chain latch things, whatever they're called, I think those are gonna have to come off. Because they kind of wrap around the body, the metal of the bed. Then I got a wiring harness up there for my gooseneck, so I gotta get that unhooked. Then it should be ready to come off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a chain on these hooks. There's 4 of them, 1 each corner. You can't really make it out, but it's up there. Then I'm gonna try to use my cherry picker. I don't know if it's gonna work out or not, but it's only me, so hopefully it does. I'm gonna try raising it up enough, then pulling out. Then I'm gonna try to flip my bed up. Set it down, flip it up on the front side so I can see the bottom. I'm also gonna try to get that coated to the bottom of the bed. It don't look bad, but might as well go and do it while it's off. Paint my inner fender wells. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. I'll get with you guys when I'm pulling it off, just in case something goes wrong, you're able to watch it. I think I'm about ready. I got the wiring harness for the taillights unhooked. Here's one. I forgot to throw the other one up so they don't get caught. I got the trailer connection unhooked. All I did was unhooked it from this one down here. It had a wire or a harness that plugged into this, and the original one plugged into that, and then it went up to that. So hopefully it don't get caught. I'm gonna try to leave my back bumper on. There's 2 problems I see with this. One, I hope it don't come back and dent my bed. And 2, I don't think the cherry picker is quite center. You kind of see the hook, how it's tilted like that. So I'm worried when it starts coming up, it's gonna go backwards and dent the bed. If I was able to, if I took the bumper off and resetch, then I'd be able to get it a little closer, you know, not much. But hopefully it goes good. The safety chain hooks for my gooseneck were a pain. They were really tight. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up on a tripod. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. I'm also worried that the bed's gonna go forward and hit my cab. I'm more worried about that. It should not, because like I said, it's got tension, so it should go backwards if it does anything. I also had to pull my filler neck. Okay, I got the bed off. I got somebody coming. I'm gonna set the bed down, then we'll stand it up so I can do underneath the bed. But I'll go ahead and show you what all it takes to get this off. Luckily I checked because they had this air hose running through my support on the bed. I about broke it. That goes in my airbags. So there's 4 bed bolts. You got one up in the frame, back by your bumper. You can see it right here in the middle. Then the other 3 are sticking out, pretty easy to get to. This one had a weird nut and bolt set up, and I couldn't get it, so I just cut it. It just kept spinning freely inside the bed rail. So, same on the other side. I'll go and show you where the bolts go to. There's your one that goes in the frame, then down this side. So before they come to help me, I'm going to go ahead and power wash my bed because it's pretty nasty. Then after I get that set up, I'm going to go ahead and power wash the frame and everything, try to get all the mud and crud off of it. And tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and start chiseling all this rust away. This truck came from Canada. I'm guessing Canada has pretty bad winters. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of it. I live in Ohio and we got pretty bad winter sometimes. So I'm gonna get it coated and cleaned up before salt hits the road. Got the bed all flipped up. I power washed it. It don't look like it, but it's definitely a lot cleaner than what it was. Definitely in rough shape. The worst parts on it is, structure-wise anyway, there's some surface rust, nothing too major. And then where my gooseneck goes, it's been rubbing. So I'm gonna clean that up and put some undercoating because it's kind of rubbery. Should help protect it. So I'm gonna try to take care of this as much as I can, although there's definitely some rust. And as far as my frame goes, got it all clean. All the mud off of it anyway. I still gotta go through and chisel the rust and primer, all that. I did take my tires off last night. That's why I can get the leaf springs and stuff a little better. These right here had a bunch of rust in them. The tubes that go across. When I was power washing it, I kind of sprayed my white wall. There was spots everywhere. Wasn't that good of an idea. I kind of want to take my fuel tank out, but it's got probably 12 gallons in it. I don't really want to mess with that. My main concern is everything up top, and then everywhere else I can see, but I can always get to everything else later with the bed on it. You gotta make sure when you wash your truck, you clean your bumpers out, you can see how it's starting to rust. That's how you start seeing rust out here. I took my power washer and I put it inside the frame rail, both sides, and held the trigger probably for 2 minutes, try to rinse out the frame rails. So hopefully that helps something, I don't know. This right here is my main tool I'm using. It's called an air needler. What it is these little metal rods go in and out, and it helps break up stuff. I'm gonna use this, and then probably a hammer and chisel in some tight spots I can't get to, and wire brush. Hopefully that gets it all cleaned up pretty nice, makes it look decent, and protects it. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my areas to this, and I'll show you guys what it does. It is loud. I recommend some earbuds or something, or some earplugs, and safety glasses. When you start chiseling the rust, this stuff flies everywhere. I can see a stick of rust right here. Alright, here's a little demonstration on how it does. Does a really good job getting all the rust off. So one downfall with it, it's not that big of a downfall, but if you have a weak spot in your frame, it's gonna go through it. So hopefully I don't find any of those. I did find that this bracket right here broke. So now it's all floppy. But there's two more holding it on. I should probably look into replacing that bracket at some point. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably spend 4 hours on this at least. Try to get it all cleaned up. I'm gonna go to work real quick, get my earbuds, because this gets pretty annoying. Basically all you want to do with this is just get all the big chunks off. So after all the flaky rust is off, like all this thick stuff right here, after all that's off, you can hit it with the wire brush and try to clean it up some. So that's all I'm gonna try doing. My main concern is gonna be the outsides of the frame rails, the tops, and as much of the inside that I can get. I might end up pulling that wiring harness off over there and doing that inside. The only thing I'm not going to do is where the fuel tank is right now. So, I guess I'll do a quick time lapse of doing it. I'll show it to you guys when I'm done. Alright, I got this frame rail all done on the outside and the top. It actually took 40 minutes to do this. It's going to look pretty bad until you start sanding it down a little more and coating it. I did all my leaf spring brackets and stuff. I did my caliper. All the bed mounts. One thing I didn't do that I was supposed to do is my airbag holder. So I'll do that here soon. I gotta take a break. That little needler vibrates a bunch. It makes my hand go numb. This area right here, between the gooseneck bracket and my frame, all that, it was pretty bad. So I'm gonna take a couple minute break, let my air compressor cool off because it's kind of hard on the air compressor. And I'll probably go ahead and do the airbag bracket so I don't forget about doing that, and then move on to doing the inside of this side as much as I can. I got all the big parts of the rust knocked off now. I got probably, I don't know, 8 hours in it. I found a couple weak spots. One right there. And then that bracket. The bracket I ain't too worried about, it's replaceable. This, hopefully I caught it soon enough. I decided not to drop my fuel tank. I'll do it some other time. The main things I'm worried about is all the flat surfaces. That's mainly where all your salt and stuff lays, you know. That's why this is so bad right here, because stuff gets up in there and lays. One thing I'm gonna recommend is to wear a mask. I did not do that. You see how dirty my arm is. Alright, so after you get this part done, get all the big parts of the rust knocked off, then next thing I'm gonna do is use a flapper wheel on an angle grinder. I'm using 80 grit. All it is a little piece of sandpaper. I did this side already so I can show you guys, but that's all I went down to, is something like that. The only thing I did not do yet is my rear end. I might go ahead and hit the top of that while the bed's off. Probably be easier. I got everywhere I could with it. I think it should be pretty good. I also took my angle grinder and hit all the rust spots on this and ball my bed. There wasn't a whole bunch, but I knocked most of it off. I'm gonna go through wiping everything down. While the bed's off, I might go ahead and fix some of this stuff. You see the bubbles starting. And this side is pretty bad. I'm just going to take an angle grinder, grind all this, and use white spray paint for now. I know it's not the right way to fix it, but it's better than orange running down it. and it should seal it off so it don't get worse right now. The same way with up here. That's underneath it. So that's where all the rocks and stuff fit. I imagine they didn't have mud flaps on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the angle grinder everywhere and wipe stuff down, and we'll get it painted. I did my calipers too because they were pretty rusty. I'll spray some paint on there too. I got all the stuff I could grind it down. Here, I saw this side. I couldn't get everywhere with it, obviously because it's a, I think, 4-inch wheel. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray it down. Now, I'm not gonna get everywhere with the spray and wipe it down, so my thought is I'm gonna spray it like down in tight spots and just blow it out with air hose, and then I'll wipe everything else down that I can. This right here is what I'm gonna be using. It's called Prep-All. And then after I get done with that, I'm gonna spray this on there. It's supposed to turn rust into primer. I don't know if it works. It smells kind of like an acid or something. But I used it before and it turns the rust black, so it's doing something and it comes out clear. I'll show you. I'm gonna do that, and then when that dries, I'm gonna spray it with some satin black. Then underneath the bed, I'm gonna use white. I got this stuff for $1. I normally don't use crayon, but it was cheap. It's flat white. I got some gloss black just in case. I don't know, I had it in my little cabinet over there. And after all that stuff dries, I'm gonna undercoat it. The frame, the bed I probably won't do unless I have enough. I got 2 full cans, 1 almost full can, and a like half can back here. I got some engine enamel. It's black and we use for the calipers. Now you can see how most of it's all black. There is still some red rust, but nowhere near like it was. So next step's going to be to spray some black on it. I kind of just partially covered the bed up. I don't think I have enough undercoating to do it all, but I might go get some more. So I'm just using this kind of like a primer. There's some runs in there and stuff, but it's all getting covered up. Now my plans are not undercoating everything, just really the frame. Like the leaf springs, they're going to be just satin black. Then my rear end's going to be satin black. And that might be it. I don't know. So I'm gonna do the frame and stuff in gloss black because I got more of that. Because it's getting covered up anyway. So I'm gonna do a little spot, show you how I'm gonna coat it. And then I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod so this way I can cover some stuff up like the exhaust. I'm not really gonna tape anything off. If I paint the hose and stuff, then it's just gonna be shiny. No big deal. So basically, I'm just gonna put a nice thick coat on it. I ain't too worried about runs. If it runs, there's gonna be undercoating on anyway, which is kind of textured. I just want it really covered. Now out here on the sides, I'll probably go and spray that now. I'll come back and put another coat. I want it to kind of look good because you can obviously see the sides of it. So I'm not gonna go as heavy. I'm gonna get a good covering coat. You want to make sure when you spray around the bolts and stuff, you get all angles, so this way. Set you guys up so I can get the rest of it sprayed. I got everything sprayed. Now, I'll remind you, most of it is gloss, and gloss is gonna make it look like crap because how it's not flat. Just keep that in mind. Well, it looks like in the video, it looks pretty good, I think. When it dries, I'll go back over everything a little better, but like the leaf spray and stuff, that's satin, that should dry to a little bit not so shiny finish. But overall, looks better than I did. I put it on thick too. This way hopefully helps seal off the rust. Nothing's gonna permanently fix this rust, that I'm aware of anyway. One thing I got left to paint is the calipers, but I'm gonna kind of tape off the rotor a little bit so I don't get paint all over them. I did paint the backing plate as much of the axle as I could. I didn't do the diff cover because of there's rust on it. I didn't clean that up yet. I might do a little bit better underneath this weekend or next weekend. I'll do the bottom of the frame rails and stuff. I wasn't planning on this taking this long, but oh, I missed a big spot over there. I didn't get that whole frame rail. So I'm gonna spray that, and then I'm gonna let this dry up real good before I put the undercoating on. So I'll get back with you guys when I start doing the undercoating. So 4 cans later, I got the frame all coated. I put it on super heavy too. It should start dulling out here soon to this, so it should look pretty good. I did the back sides of my bumpers, or the inside of my bumpers. Bumper, not plural. Both sides of it, how about that? Everything is nice and coated. Even my exhaust right there that I forgot to cover up, I guess. Then I kind of ran out doing this, so I'm about to run to Walmart real quick, pick up a couple more cans, probably 2. The one can I grabbed, it was not the professional Rust-Oleum, but regular, and it's got more texture to it. The professional lays down a lot more smooth. I don't know if you guys can see that. I kind of feel like the texture almost be better. Well, I don't know, it's kind of clumping together. I don't know. So I'm gonna go pick up a couple more cans so I can get this finished up, and I'll show you guys when it's all dry. I went to the store and got some more undercoating. Got it all coated. It's pretty well dry. There's a couple wet spots. That one can, the non-professional stuff, came out thicker, but it also has water in it. It's kind of weird. The professional stuff went down nice and flat looking. It's kind of splotchy still from where it's drying. Here's everything all dry. It's been probably 2 days actually since I did it all. I do need to spray around my fuel tank a little better. You can still see a little bit of rust there, I think. I also got to spray my calipers. I haven't did that yet. I'm gonna go ahead and run all my wiring and stuff. Plug it all back in. My air lines for my airbags, and get ready to put the bed back on. Yesterday I painted the inner fender wells. They're a lot brighter than the actual truck color. I'll get them both in frame there. You can see how yellow my truck looks per that. But they're supposed to be white, so hopefully it don't look too bad, so I'll just spray some black on them. This is a lot of work, but I think it looks a lot better and hopefully makes truck last a little longer. I got the bed put on it. It was actually a pain. I could not do it by myself. I had 2 other people helping me. The cherry picker is nice for getting it off, but definitely can't do it by yourself putting it back on. It still worked. It's just trying to line everything up. Been 100 times easier if I took the back bumper off. I didn't record it because I was kind of mad. While I was backing my truck in this side underneath the bed, I can see my tires are flat now. For some reason, the little antenna up there, it hit. It didn't do it when I took the bed off. Didn't do it when I pulled it out. But when I backed it in, it hit, and as you can see, it broke it. So I was pretty mad about that, and now I'm gonna take my headliner off. So, I guess one good thing is that's gonna be another video. Ooh, my truck is filthy. But it turned out pretty good. Underneath it don't look very good, I didn't do the bottom of it yet. But I'm gonna do that maybe this coming weekend, I don't know. Needs done though. So in order to prevent rust from happening up here, one good thing to do if you don't have rust, whenever you wash it, pour your tail light out. It's only 2 screws. One there, one up there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you guys very well, but you can spray it out in there. So that'd be a good thing to start doing. You can see all the mud and stuff up here. But the whole inside's like that. You can kind of get what I'm trying to show you. So all I got left to do now is I got all the bolts tight. I gotta hook up my tail lights, which just 2 plugs right down in here is a little module. Hook up my backup camera. Put tailgate on it. And put my filler neck back in. Gotta put the 3 little bolts back in that. So here's a little better picture of how I did the chains. Make sure they're tight. The first time I hooked it up to pull the bed off, they were too loose. The cherry picker didn't go high enough. So I had to set it back down and rehook it. But it does work really good getting your bed off. It was actually not bad putting it on either, just definitely needed some help. I was worried about hitting the cab and stuff. Check out my mess. That's what my floor should look like. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. If you guys liked it, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. If you got any questions, don't be scared to ask. I try to answer within a couple hours. If you haven't yet, subscribe. I will be making more videos on the truck and a couple other vehicles. So, catch you guys next time.